Why am I struggling to make art? I have the art supplies. I have the time. Why am I not doing it? I'm scrolling on my phone at the end of the day. I would rather be making art, but I'm not making art. That's something that I hear a lot. So I want to answer the question, how do you make the art? How do you make the art? How do you get out of those psychological blocks and make the art? So the question is, why aren't you making the art? I'll tell you what I think and what's been in my way sometimes. Sometimes the art in our head feels really good. It's going to be so good. It's going to feel so good when we get out the canvas, when we get out the paints, when we finally do it. It's going to feel so good. It's going to feel great. And then we do it. And the art doesn't look that good, and it's sort of messy, and we have to clean it up, and we have to get a cup of water, and we have to dip the brush in the water, and it's messy. And then someone we live with might say that it's messy, and then they might say that there's actually something else we should be doing, and it doesn't look as good as the art we saw, and it doesn't look as good as we thought it would look. You get what I'm saying? It in reality is messy, and it doesn't always feel good, and it doesn't always turn out good. So here's the thing, and here's how we battle that it's not going to be as good in real life. It's not. The art is not going to be as good in real life as it is in your head, but the art in your head doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You can't share it. You can't post it on Instagram. You can't show it to your friends. You can't show it to your family. You can't sell it. It doesn't exist. You need to make art that exists if you want to make art. It can't just be in your head. So you have to accept that you're going to make a lot of bad art. You're going to make a lot of really terrible art. You're going to make art that makes you think you're not a good artist. You're going to make art that makes other people think you're not a good artist. But you got to do it. You got to make the art. So you decide that your efforts are what you control, because that's true. You can decide to show up. You can decide to lay out your paints. You can decide to make a painting. You don't get to decide whether this is the best painting you've ever made. You don't get to decide whether other people think this is the best painting you've ever made. You don't get to decide, but you get to decide whether you show up and put in effort, whether you show up and you make the art. And then you have to compliment yourself on your efforts, not on your results. Hey, Dahlia, thanks today for showing up and making art. Whereas, here's something else I could do. I showed up, I made art, and then at the end of it, I say, wow, Dahlia, your art sucks. It looks so bad. Oh my gosh, why are you even an artist? You wasted art supplies. You know you suck. I hope no one sees this and knows you're terrible at art. Yeah, why would I show up again and hang out with that version of myself who's a jerk? Why would I do that? So you have to be kind to yourself and genuine. I can't look at a bad piece of art I've made and say, it's not that bad. It's okay. I know I'm lying to myself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. The art can suck. That's okay. It cannot be your favorite piece of art. That's okay. But you need to compliment yourself on your efforts. You showed up and you made art, and that is more than what most people do. Most people, it will continue to live in their head in wonderful, magical, ideal land where no one can judge it, not even you. So make the art, make the bad art, make the good art, make the okay art, make the messy art, and compliment yourself on your efforts. Feel good that you showed up and you made art, and that's how you're going to make more art. And by making bad art, you will eventually make good art. But you have to make a lot of bad art to make good art. So continue to feel good about your efforts. Continue to feel good that you are showing up. You are making art. Whenever it is. None of that, I didn't show up enough stuff. Just show up more. Show up however much you show up, and compliment yourself on the amount you are showing up. Because if you just show up, I don't know, it's like if you haven't seen a friend in a long time and then you see them and they say, wow, it's been a minute. You're like, wow, and it's probably going to be longer until next time, because that didn't feel good. That didn't feel good, right? So same with the art. If you show up and you start making art and you tell yourself, wow, I don't do this enough. I suck for this. I shouldn't do this. Then what are you going to do? You're just going to scroll through more videos on your phone. You're going to do something that feels neutral at best. Okay. Maybe you laugh at like a video of a puppy, because that feels a lot better than beating yourself up for not showing up enough. Compliment the efforts. Observe the efforts you're making, and then you'll probably show up more, like you would if you had a friend who you hadn't seen in a long time and said, wow, I missed you, how's it going? Versus the friend who's like, wow, it's been a minute. Don't be the, it's been a minute friend. Don't be the your art sucks friend to yourself. You're a friend to yourself. You have a relationship with yourself. You're not by yourself. You are with yourself. So be a good friend to yourself. Show up. Make the art. Make the bad art. Make the okay art. Make the messy art. Make the not messy art. And then do it again and be nice to yourself because you showed up today.